Tonight, I'd like to start out this lesson by speaking to the young people of the congregation. And what I'd like to say is, don't sell yourself short. You might say, well, I'm young and I don't have any influence on anybody, and so I can do or say whatever I want. Don't sell yourself short. Because there's a lot of young people that are looking up to you, whether you realize it or not. And they're watching you and they're thinking, well, I'd like to be like him someday. So don't sell yourself short that you don't have any influence on anybody. You do. And so that you can be a good worker by, number one, being a good example. An example to other young people. Number two, you can encourage your fellow young person and help them. Give them encouragement. You can be happy. What I mean by that is in Philippians 4:4 it says, rejoice in the Lord always. And again I say rejoice. Being happy is a show of rejoicing. If you show other people you're happy with your life, you're happy with being a Christian, then they will want to be just like you. Also, you can comfort your friends. Sometimes things go kind of bad. Sometimes we have bad days, or they do. And you can help them by comforting them, helping with them. Also, you can make people happy and feel good yourself. And for example, I'd like to show you this. A couple months ago, I received this in the mail. And it made me happy. I won't read the whole thing, but I will read one line out of it. And it said this: thank you for making me smile. That makes me happy. Yeah, when I see that, that does make me feel good. You can do that. Also, most young people do have someone they look up to. I can remember the man that I looked up to when I was young. I was about 11 or 12. He was a good friend of my dad. Younger than my dad, but he was a good friend of his. And man, I thought that guy was about the coolest guy there ever was. He was a young farmer, and he drove around in a World War II Jeep. It had no doors, no top on it, no back seat really. And man, I thought, this guy is something else. And sometimes I even got to ride around in it when Dad would be with him and we'd go somewhere. And boy, just going through town made me feel great. Well, I don't know if y'all know it or not, but after World War II, the government had so many Jeeps, they didn't know what to do with all of them. And so they advertised them in the paper and in magazines. They even advertised them in comic books. At that time, my favorite hero, I guess you'd say, like everybody has one, like Batman and Spider-Man and all of them. Well, that was G.I. Joe for me. And on the back of that comic book, they advertised those Jeeps. I can't remember exactly how much they were, but they wasn't very much. And that's what he had. Well, as I grew a little older, I was even more taken with him. He could do anything. Man, I want to be like that. I want to be able to do anything like he could. He even helped me overhaul an engine that the cam bearings had went out of and put it back together. He was a race car driver. He like I said, to me, he was just about everything. He could even weld. He was a good welder. He helped me build a trailer that I pulled around when I was younger all the time, hauling just this and that, and wood and everything else. But you know the best part about him? He was a Christian. Not only that, he served as a deacon in the church in Blackwater where I attended. That's someone you can look up to. You young people remember that. Also, I would like to say to the young mothers and fathers and those that will be mothers and fathers in the future, don't sell yourself short. Because your children are always watching what you do. They're listening. And they're watching you all the time. And kind of like, I know Kenny, he'll know right just what this song is, but I couldn't think of the songwriter of it. But the song goes about this father and son was going down the road in the car, and the boy had gotten, I don't know whether it was a Happy Meal or what, but he had gotten it all put down on his lap. And the father had to stop right quick for somebody, and it threw all of that right in the floor. And the boy came out with some pretty unsavory words. And his father said, "Son, where did you hear that?" And he said, "I heard that from you, Dad. Isn't that great? I want to be just like you." Well, the one thing about that song also, in another verse, it talks about his dad walking by the son's bedroom, and he was down there on his knees praying, thanking the Lord for his mother and his father. And his dad said, "Wow, son, where did you learn to pray like that?" He said, "I learned that from you, Dad. Ain't that great? I want to be just like you when I grow up." Let's remember that, because they're watching you all the time. Be careful what you do and say. And one other thing I'd like to let you know is this. Your example will teach them way more than anything you try to tell them. The last, I would like to say to the older Christians, don't sell yourself short. Because whether you know it or not, there's young Christians looking at you. And I know this for a fact. Because when I was younger, I had 3 men that I looked up to. I don't usually use a man's name in my lessons, but I will call them out. Number 1 was Tully Johnson. I thought a lot of him. The other one was Maurice Berry. I can remember the day that he had his little stroke up here. It was awful hard on me. The last one was Richard Lemons. I just hope that I gain some of the Christian living that they did in my life. And you know what? They would never even knew that I was paying any attention to them. And that's the way it is. You don't know who's watching you. So be careful what you do and say. Don't sell yourself short. And this lesson wasn't about becoming a Christian or anything, but if you do need to become a Christian at this time, put on Christ in baptism, or you need the prayers of the church, you come forward as we stand and sing.